I am the goddess of keys.
Okay.
I am a goddess of keys. One of my most major gifts is manifestation, and I also have the actual gift of healing. I can heal someone's body that the surgeons would have to go in and physically cut them on. I can remove that energy buildup and take away the pain.
Okay.
Go
Anything else? How well do we know Erdman?
Oh, you could ask anything. That's my mother, my twin now.
Erdman.
That's my spirit.
Is there anything in particular about Kaylani that you feel like needs to be brought to light for people?
It's going to be honest. It's going to be, anything she says is going to be honest, and it's going to be to the point. It's going to be personal.
Is there any particular skill that she has that you know of that over 300,000-400,000 people need to know about? Like, so.
How intuitive readings are.
Okay. Okay. When y'all ready, I'm ready. And I'll do her introduction. Kaylani, Mambo, what was the last one?
Elbe.
Absalom, Midtown, Mojo.
When I think Mojo, that's why. Sorry, it's Mojo.
Austin Powers.
It's your mojo, baby.
We ready?
5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, all, and welcome back to Sip with the Witch. Today we have Mambo, Kaylani Elbe, the head Mambo of Absalom's Midtown Mojo, mother of many. She is a true right hand to the man. I experienced it myself. Mambo of the art, the religion, the culture, the experience of all that is beautiful in the world, which would be voodoo. She is also an intuitive reader. She needs no cards, she needs no stones. Any medium that you give her, she could probably live without. She just naturally sees. She is naturally honest. And she is actually here, and we are glad to have you. Thank you for coming to sit with the witch, Miss Kaylani.
Thank you, boy.
I'm sorry, Mama Kaylani. Let me get in order.
That's okay. Thank you for having me. It is an honor and a pleasure. I am most humble and grateful for the opportunity to come and share and sit with you and get this vibe going.
Yes.
I'm a natural smiler, so y'all might see this smile look like it's gonna break today.
So we're gonna have a lot of teeth in this episode, okay? We're gonna have a lot of teeth, we're gonna have a lot of laughter, a whole lot of love, and a whole lot of truth.
Yes. I stand on truth. That is one of the things I tell people. I got a potty mouth, so I'm gonna tell you like it is, and it's gonna come from a place of love,
Right.
you know. And sometimes people looking on the outside might think that it's harsh, but truth is truth.
Absolutely.
And if you sitting in front of Mambo, I'm gonna come to you with the raw, uncut truth because I could only see what your soul is showing me.
Right.
I'm an intuitive reader that sees the heart, sees the soul. So I go to the root cause of what you're battling with. If you're battling with relationship issues, I'm going to tell you where it stemmed from. Meaning, if it was something that you might have spoke as a young girl against your mom, I'm going to see it and I'm going to say, remember when you was X, Y, and Z and you spoke. When I grow up, I'm not going, that's a curse because we unconsciously judge our parents or judge people. And in doing so, we curse ourselves.
Right. And I was talking to someone else about that, and it was people do that based on the expectation.
Exactly.
They have these unreasonable, unfounded expectations for people that no one asked for.
Right.
And you judge them based on that. How are you gonna judge me over something that you think I am? You have no that you think I'm supposed to be. I've never even heard of this thing, and you think I'm supposed to be that. And we do that to our children. They're born, and we give them expectations.
Right.
They can't look yet, but we expect them to be this astronaut because your daddy is an astronaut.
Right.
But y'all might not even like the stars.
No.
Y'all want them to do in space. But we expect them to be, and then we judge them harshly.
We do. I was once guilty because it's like in being a Mambo in voodoo, it goes against everything I was raised up under because my parents raised me Catholic. And then along the way, I experienced all the different religions because I wanted to understand. Before I got to being a Mambo, I went through Catholic, I went through Orthodox, non-denomination, traditional Baptist, Methodist, Jehovah, Muslim. I always went, if I saw a church in my spirit, say stop,
right,
I would stop. They call me prophetess or evangelist in the church,
right,
because the Bible is the biggest spell book.
Absolutely.
So,
and that's part of my journey as well. So we've had very similar journeys in that way. And most spells come from the Bible. So those of you who know, y'all know me. So we know me as the Good Witch, and I'm an intuitive reader as well. And me and Kaylani have a lot in common when it comes to different religious practices and being Hebrew Israelite and being Muslim and being Christian and being non-denominational and being Baptist and sitting in the chair at the front of the church and having people throw oil at you and them telling you you're a prophet, and when you don't do what they say, then you're a witch. It's like it's a thin line. Like it's a real thin line between witch and prophetess. And they called me a prophetess in church until I came dressed in all black with my hair tied up because that's all I wanted to wear that day, and I had on something they didn't like, and they was like, "Oh no, you can't do that." Why? Why not? Because God said you can't wear that. He tell me. No, we got a direct line. So tell me. When you hit me up, I'll take it off. So
it's a sad thing because it's so many of our babies, and I call them babies, novice. They are seeking to grow and understand. They, and I say they, meaning as the younger generation, are really tapped into their awakening. Their third eyes are open. They are tapping into more arenas than we were gave the opportunity, is because when we experienced things, they wanted to make us think we was crazy or ADHD or
possessed.
Exactly. But
personally, for me, it was possessed.
Exactly.
I'm possessed by a lot of things. I like them all. Leave them alone.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. I like that.
I've been teaching my babies about the spirits because spirits come to us.
Right.
just because auntie and big mama done passed, don't mean they gone.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm encouraging my babies today to understand really they're more valuable to us in heaven than they are on earth. And we have to sit and meditate truly so we could hear them. Our ancestors are the gods of our past. They already made the mistakes. That's why it says it's nothing new under the sun, because the roads have already been laid. All we have to do is take the time to sit down and listen to your spirit. When I truly got out of the church,
Right.
and I started walking in my awakening, I started looking for remedies to help my mom so she wouldn't go on dialysis. So, you know, I started looking up the stones and the herbs to see what properties that she could use to build up her kidneys. So,
Because everything we need, we already have.
exactly. And then in doing so, I started working with the herbs, and it was like a lot of things was coming to me. And I'm like, where did this come from? So I started looking up the properties of it. What do you use to do this? And how do you use, and why is this calling to me? And picking up the books. So I encourage folks, your left hand is your receiver hand. If something called to you, you put it in your left hand, and if it resonates, look it up. See how that applied to the situation that you're dealing with at that particular time. You could be going through depression, you could be having issues with your heart, you know, and you just not understanding, but you just need an outlet.
Right.
So in doing that, that was teaching me, girl, you got some stuff going on inside of you that's a powerhouse. So I started trusting myself more. I started doing the self-love.
What was the process like for you trusting yourself? What were some of the hurdles that you had to go through in order to be able to trust yourself to the fullest extent?
Doing the shadow work.
Nobody wants to do the shadow work.
No, nobody wants to.
Nobody wants to do the shadow work.
No, because
Nobody wants them long nights crying and them early mornings waking up and them aches and them pains and them tears and them heartaches and them I'm gonna have to let it go and I'm gonna have to pick it up. Nobody want to do the shadow work.
But that is the most important thing, because one thing I learned was I was allowing my ego to make me be shameful in some areas. And in doing the shadow work, I had to look in the mirror doing a spiritual bath, and it was asked the question, what is so wrong about the shadow? So when I looked in that mirror, in that emotional, vulnerable place, all I saw was survival. All I saw was survival. All she could show me was, regardless of what hell I went through, I made it out.
Absolutely.
So I asked my lower self to forgive me for discrediting her and counting her out, because she never left me nor forsake me.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I had to understand that we were one and whole. And we get in a place to where we're separating ourselves.
So in part of True Breathing, which is one of my books, and Becoming the Environment, which is another one, the part of the program is doing that shadow work. And what I have people do, and y'all know normally I don't really give away steps in the program, but we're going to give it away today. So Every year of your life that you remember, I want you to write down what you remember about that year. And this process takes some time, so we do this over a set of weeks. But within 3 days, I want you to have been through every year of your life that you can remember, as far back as you can remember, every bad thing that happened to you on one side. And in another journal, you write every good thing that happened to you. And 9 times out of 10, the bad is going to outweigh the good.
Exactly.
But you're looking at the bad, and what you see is what you've already done. It's not what you've been through, it's what you got through. And this is what you've already accomplished. These aren't things that hurt you. These aren't things that broke you down. These are things that you dealt with, that you healed from, that you've moved on from, that you've addressed, that you've adjusted from. And if you find one that you haven't got over yet, look at all the other shit you did. So let's get this one done too. Come on, let's go.
Right.
And that's how we deal with that.
Right.
Because you can't tell me, oh, I can't heal from my past trauma that time I got raped in the woods. But you lost a baby. You lost a brother. You lost your home. You got in an accident and you survived. Somebody else died. You got through all of those things and you can't get over this thing? Sure you can. You just don't want to. Let's figure out why. And we work on building from that purpose.
Right.
And doing that shadow work is so important for everything else you do to come from a pure place.
It is. In my shadow work, it really showed me I didn't operate in fear. It's process.
So you're saying you don't operate in fear currently,
right?
Or you did not in the past?
I don't now.
Okay.
And doing the shadow work taught me how not to operate in fear and understand that we go through trial, error, process, and growth. It's no such thing as fear. Because we go through process after process. Our life will always be a process because we constantly evolve. We constantly elevate. We could get stagnated if we choose to.
Right.
You know, and the stagnation comes through those areas where you don't want to do the shadow work.
Yeah, you're not ready to let that go yet.
Exactly.
It's a security blanket for you at some point. I don't want to be in an intimate relationship, so I'm gonna hold on to this thing that causes me to hold back my intimacy because it's not something I'm ready to have.
Exactly. The demons in our closet can be created through relationship. I'm gonna stick to the relationship because that means if it's relationship through your parent, through friendship, through sisterhood, through lovers relationship.
Right. Every person I meet, I'm in a relationship with.
Exactly. So it's about you understanding who you are and setting your boundaries.
Right.
So once I overcame the fear of being who I was, then I was able to set the boundaries that allow me to continuously to grow.
Okay. So talking about becoming who you are. So part of the process of this television show is to help people understand the similarities of all the different spiritualities and spiritual practices, more so than focus on the differences.
Right.
Like, because of my path, I have been a Buddhist, I have been a Christian, I have been a Muslim, and I can be all things, and I understand that now.
Right.
And I didn't understand that at first, and people don't get that. Well, you can't say Confucius is right, and you can't say Muhammad is right, and still believe in God, and still mess with your herbs and have crystals and cast spells. You can't do all those things. Who said?
Yeah, why not?
Because they honestly have more in common than they do different. And very few people can help me explain that.
Okay, so in dealing with and learning about the different religions, what I learned was all of them coincide with each other because the Catholics, they burn incense, they burn candles.
Catholicism is almost voodoo.
Exactly. They sage, even in the Baptists. I mean, all of them try to manipulate the word. It's about the word manipulation. And if they pay attention to the Bible, it says, study to show thyself approved and not look for the approval of man.
Preach then.
So I left the church because I did not need them to tell me I had to go to the biblical Bible study to be walking in my anointing.
Right.
Or be able to speak a prophetic word to someone that I don't even know. Because prophets and prophetess, it's in us. We was born, it's in our DNA. That's not something that you are taught in a school. It don't come out of a book. It comes from heaven. It comes from your ancestors. It comes from where you were.
All it's a gift.
It is. So it's about us studying and understanding how to walk in an unbiased place. I can't knock you for how you teach because your teaching complements my teaching.
Right.
If I allow myself to be the student. And we have so many of our pastors or teachers or men and women that is put in the authority places that want to think that their ashe is better than the next. No, our anointing comes without repentance.
Right, and it's just, and a lot of people don't understand what repentance truly is, but that's,
Yes,
saying,
it's just it's the freedom. Yeah. It's the freedom for you to believe what you want, because I tell my babies all the time, your right and wrong might not be my right and wrong.
That's why I tell people there's no good and bad. There's negative and
it's not,
but there's no good and bad.
It's not.
It's
a balance.
It's a balance. What's good for me might be bad for you.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean it's bad for me.
Exactly.
And I can't hold you to the same standard that I hold myself. Just because you're right doesn't mean I'm wrong. And I feel like if more religious people, religious institutions would teach that, there would be so much oneness.
I mean,
because if Christians didn't believe that all the Muslims were going to hell, they wouldn't dislike them so much. I don't know a God or a universe or a spirit. I know a lot of spirits. I know some deities. I know some ghosts. I know a couple demons too. Ain't none of them told me.
Exactly.
I ain't never heard that, this one particular group going to heaven, the rest of y'all, light a match. Nobody's ever told me that. I've never seen it. I ain't never read it nowhere. Right. It ain't in the Bible. It ain't in the Torah.
You're so right, because if you pay attention, and it's not to bash the church people. It's not about bashing.
I love the church people.
Right.
They funny, because I love them.
If you pay attention.
They bash me.
But look, yeah, they do. I'm a witch.
And I love it anyway. Yeah.
But
I go to church and everything. They just look at me and be like,
they blame Satan for everything. Oh, Satan did this. Oh, Satan did that. I mean, y'all giving him the credit, but guess what? He was an angel too, and he was designed for the balance.
Right.
He was designed for the balance. So he's a magical being, just as any of us are magical beings. I tell people all the time when they go to down in Jesus. I say if y'all paid attention to the story of him, he was put in a position to show us an example. It was the example of love. It was the example of manifestation. It was the example of giving. And it was the example of unity.
But he also said all these things that I do.
And exactly. Yes. And
so if I can heal people, he can heal people and turn water into wine. Then
what, baby? Because I was like,
I prefer Hennessy.
So,
hey. If I want to turn some water into some Hennessy, I can do that. If I put my mind to it right, if you want to heal the blind, you can.
Yes.
And if we feel like going outside walking on water, we should be attuned enough.
Right. That's
ascended enough.
Yes. I encourage my babies to watch what they say, because your words do give life and death to any situation, as well as you. I'm a motivator of everything. I want you to believe that all things are possible in the alignment, and delayed don't mean denied.
Absolutely.
Delayed don't mean denied. We have to understand that our ancestors, our gods, our deities, those that we petition on our behalf, if you're not mature, they're not going to give it to you, because they're not trying to set you up for failure. They're not trying to push you backwards. They're trying to bring you up out of the poverty mindset. They're trying to bring you into your true awakening. And it goes back to the self-love and the shadow working.
You have to heal first.
You do. And it don't take years to heal. I hear a lot of people say, I've been working on myself for years. Well, it's time for you to believe that the work is done.
Right. If you've been working on yourself for years, understand we're all a work in progress and we continue to grow. But at some point you should get to the point of knowing I'm better than I was. I will be better tomorrow. We'll be better in this next month. I will be better. I'm better now than I was 2 seconds ago. And once you get to that and you start to flow in that, and you don't hold yourself accountable yet for the things that you do not know.
Right.
Because you still are learning. And walking in that, yes, you heal way more quickly because you're not holding on to what you did 5 minutes ago.
Exactly.
If I cussed out somebody 5 minutes ago that honestly didn't deserve it, okay, I won't do that again.
I'm not gonna say that.
But if I know that I honestly didn't deserve it, if I need to apologize, I will.
Too. You right.
That doesn't mean I won't. Somebody else might not get it, but you look.
Right.
And that doesn't mean I'm not. People hold themselves to. I'm supposed to be like Jesus. And honestly, in hoodoo, I don't believe in Satan.
No.
I don't. It's to say, okay, so biblically speaking, to say that there's Satan, that the devil exists, to say the way that it happened in the Bible is that God made a mistake.
No.
And I don't believe that God makes mistakes.
No. I mean,
so
we all have a
like
purpose.
You said, he created balance.
Yeah.
But it's not a mistake.
No.
So there's negative and positive energies. That's another reason why you don't say, well, I don't believe in good and bad.
Right.
There's negative and positive energies. But there was an energy that offset the balance of what it was supposed to be to create the balance of what it is.
Exactly.
And just moving in that will help people to heal a lot faster than, you know what, I shouldn't have did that when I was in 3rd grade. I shouldn't have kissed that one under that tree. I gotta go call his mom. Why? That lady don't want to hear from you. She is fine. And I made that mistake. And I've made that mistake when I was a baby myself. I found myself going through people that I thought I hurt and apologizing. And I reached out to this one chick on Facebook and apologized to her for something. And she was like, I didn't really did that. And in reality, and that made me realize it wasn't for her.
Exactly.
I'm not apologizing to you to give you something for you.
Right.
I'm apologizing to you to make me feel better about what I did.
Right.
Instead of forgiving myself for what I did.
And that is the most important part. When I'm doing my readings, I encourage my clients to forgive you, and you write the letter out. You know, I encourage them to write a letter out and burn it to cut the cords. You know, cut the attachments, because if you feel it, then that's the emotion that you need to deal with. So it's like, if you got to question it, then you know it ain't right.
Right.
Because if you have to say, well, did I? Well, if you ask and did you, then that's something you have to deal
You need
with.
to work on that. It's something in you. It has nothing to do with this person.
Right. And I've been telling a lot of my clients, pull out the blueprint. It's time to do some remodeling.
Absolutely.
Check some shit at the door. But because it's a mirror going on right now. If you spot it, you got it. That's one saying I tell my clients. If you spot it, you got it. So if you come in and you saying, oh, she got a evil spirit in her, then you got that same motherfucker in you. You got the same one, or else you had it in you for you to identify.
Right.
Because when I was in that church arena, I had them went celibate on everything, drinking, cussing, smoking, sex, everything. And I started praying, oh Lord, I need you to show me through your eyes. And when I started seeing folks behave a certain way, and I wasn't drinking or I wasn't smoking, and I was like, you used to act like that? Girl, that ain't cute. So it taught me, if I spot it, I got it. I need to look in the mirror, because heaven is showing me the mirror of what I'm refusing to see, or what I need to see to fix it so I can elevate. So, you know, hey, watch what you say about someone, because you're cursing yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, and in us coming together, it's about taking that time to identify. I say, once you identify, then you become accountable. Ain't no excuses, ain't no faking it.
And that's that hurt.
Yes, it
That's
is.
that shadow work. That's that
Yes,
hurt.
it is.
Oh, we can't be together because you do X, Y, and Z. Oh shit! Ow! Wait a minute.
Thank you.
And that's what happens. You like, wait a minute. I can't be with you. We can't hang out no more because you do and I'm not that person anymore. And then when that shit start pinging back, wait a minute. Oh, my side, and it hurt.
Yes.
And it's not that you, and it's even if, like you said, you went celibate from those things.
Right.
You quit those things. But just because you stop doing something momentarily, you're still allowed to see it.
Yes.
Because you haven't let go of it completely.
No, you would never.
You take a fast from something doesn't mean you ain't gonna never do it again. You need to see it.
Right.
You need to see it, and you need to feel it. You need to smell it. You need to taste it. That's that shadow work.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand it
in
order to not go back to it in that same way.
Exactly. Those are those uncomfortable conversations that we have to have.
Remodeling.
Yes. Because I tell all my clients, I tell my babies, I tell my spiritual tribe, just because I'm Mambo don't mean I don't stand to be corrected. And if you love me, you gonna call my shit out to me.
And she does. I've seen and heard.
Yeah.
And been around you in multiple settings.
Yeah. I need you to allow me to see when I'm operating in my ego.
And let me tell you, this is a powerful woman who is a leader of ceremony. in such a manner that will cause every mountain to bow. She has that Moses. She is the entire staff and the rod. And I've seen it. And I've been blessed enough and gifted enough to be in her presence while she's in that moment. And she truly steps outside of herself and allows Spirit to use her in a way that most people can't fathom. And it's not for show, and it's never for money, and it's not for anything other than the growth and the protection of the people that she is with, for whatever purpose she is with them, for whatever healing they need. It's specifically for that purpose, and I have to say I appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
It's the honest truth. I don't, and people who know me and they watch me and they watch my show and they watch my YouTube and they get readings from me, I don't do flattery.
I know.
But it's I just don't do it. But I just choose not to. But
I said I was honored.
very, 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 very powerful to watch you work.
I'm actually Wednesday. I'm doing a full moon. It's a full moon flower in Sagittarius. We doing a ritual at the dikes.
Untexted?
Yes. We're gonna.
That's funny. I'm always out there on full moons. We just don't see each other.
So this here one, I'm doing it big because I'm advertising it. I'm gonna have Raw Airwood out there doing the sound bowl meditations. We're gonna burn ancestor money. I'm trying to open up heaven. So 9 o'clock, we're gonna be gathering. I'm gonna have a fire out there. I'm gonna ask
on the dike.
On the dike. I put it out there, so I told them to look for the white balloons on the left. That's gonna show where the entranceway, where we're gonna be at. But it's time.
It is.
It's time, and so many of our babies are ending up with people that is manipulating them just for the money, and they want to learn, so your show is important because our babies, our clients, they truly want to be taught how to trust themselves, because that's the key. The key is you listening to that small, still voice. As some call it the Holy Spirit, some call it our ancestors. Whatever, it's about them trusting thyself so they can know that the decisions that they need to make are right decisions, and they're making the right decisions for their elevation. And it's time for the mature of us that has went through the umps and bumps, and it's time for us to truly position ourselves and come together in unity. I told my tribe it's more easier for us to gain more territory if we're doing things in a unified manner.
Right.
Even in the Bible, it talks about the disciples went out 2 by 2. They very seldom went out alone. So it's time for us to get rid of the envy and the jealousy, because it's so much of that energy running rampant. So when I say I applaud you, I'm grateful, I'm honored, I'm thankful. I stay in a humble place, because that is the power. It's being humble to know that I could sit at your feet and you can teach me, although I'm a teacher. because the best and the most mastery teacher is the greatest student.
Absolutely.
And I stay as a student. I stay as a student. And I teach my babies, my godchildren, I teach my students to always don't ever think that you know it all. Because we gain knowledge with our maturity level. That's how heaven operates, is the mature you get, that's the next elevation to your gifting that will be unlocked. You know, that's one of my gifts, is to unlock the third eye, to activate the wings, because we are all angels.
Absolutely.
And we all have wings. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why throw the wings out there.
Yes, you know, we all have wings if you allow your spiritual eyes to see. I'll be in a place and I see people staring me, and all they could see is the light, because I stay on my face. I stay in prayer. I stay fasting. I stay meditating. I stay learning. I stay listening. Sometimes I have to shut up so I can hear and I can receive what the Spirit is guiding me and instructing me to do for the next level up. See, this is level up.
Well, so you were talking about your full moon ritual in Texas City.
Yeah.
I will try to be there.
I should. Yes.
Because I'm always gone, but I should be. I think I'll be in town.
It's next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, I should be in town.
I'm gonna pray
what
for
day
that.
it is.
I'm gonna pray for that.
It depends on what day it is, because I know I have to go do some things in San Antonio.
That's okay.
I do go to rituals everywhere, but the Good Witch has a global community.
Okay.
I have clients from the Netherlands. I have clients in the Bahamas. I have a lot of clients in the Bahamas for some reason. I have clients in Mexico. We have clients. I had a client yesterday in Aswan. I have clients in Nigeria. We'll be in Ghana for most of August. We have rituals in December in Nigeria. We're going and we're doing all these things. And that's part of why we have the YouTube channel, just so I wanted to give something away.
Right.
Because I was being blessed just giving. And I wanted to give something away, so I started the YouTube channel, so I just give out readings on the YouTube channel. When I had one of my clients ask me, they wanted me to start a group. This particular client is in Houston. So she wanted like a life coaching group. And I wouldn't do it because I didn't feel like it was fair to my clients who couldn't come.
Right.
Because they asked too. They
Right.
want to be guided. And that particular client, and this was maybe 2 years ago, that particular client ended up falling into one of those situations that you talked about, where she went to somebody who was going to teach her things for a ton of money, and she learned nothing.
Exactly.
And picked up some energies that she needed me to help her get rid of, and it was just a whole catastrophe for her.
Right.
And so after we helped her through that, we started the weekly calls, and we created like a Zoom calls where everyone from everywhere can call in.
Right.
And it's not that we don't make it expensive, because like readings are readings, they take a lot of time, they take a lot of energy. Right. This is a group call for a collective.
Right.
And we started doing that because people in Ghana, people in Nigeria, they will wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the morning their time to talk to me today, as a group of people who
Right.
understand, that are willing to grow with them, because
Right.
they need that sense of community, especially leaving the church, especially stepping out of any type of organized religion,
Right.
whether it be Islam, church, Hebrew, Israelite, Catholicism, you name it.
Just
Stepping, right, just prison free. Just
Just
prison period. So stepping away from that prison, they still need that sense of fellowship, that sense
They
of
do.
community. So helping to create something like that. Like, I know your community, I've seen it locally, and it's a beautiful community. And you guide them very gently and very sternly at the same time. and it's not for anything other than their growth
Right.
and their healing and the healing of the collective.
Right.
Because you understand that as you heal one, they heal many.
Exactly.
And you just keep that going. What was the deciding point for you to decide that what I'm going to do is I'm going to heal this person? I'm going to cause this ripple.
Being in that place of, like you said, trusting someone to teach me, and the lies, receiving the lies and the disappointment. So I wanted to make a difference.
You wanted to prevent people from having that negative experience.
Right. And I'm a leadership, I'm a kingdom builder. So with that, I build the leaders so they can build. Like you say, it's a ripple effect. So my end game goal is to position the leaders so they can go out, because actually at the beginning of 2022 I plan on going to Nigeria to get my initiation in E5. Yes, so one of my goals are to have a compound in Nigeria to offer that setting for us to film out there, teach out there, and for it to reach here also, as well as here and there. And another goal of mine is I will have a warehouse, a compound in New Orleans.
Okay.
Because the spirit of Marie is governed at the house that I'm under, and she wants more authentic Mambos. She wants more authentic Hogans to be positioned.
Yes.
So our babies will not be mishandled because our ancestors are coming back.
So, and I know a lot. I know a few authentic. I know a lot of inauthentic.
Exactly.
And you said you'll be in Nigeria hopefully in January.
Yeah.
I'll be there in December, so maybe we'll run into this. I'll be there in December. My life's coordination is in September.
Okay.
So, but I have to go back for another thing.
Right.
In December. But there's so many inauthentic.
Yes.
How would you tell people to tell the difference between an authentic and an inauthentic?
Okay, so when I deal with people, period, I ask them to give me the confirmation, because when you're dealing with authentic, you can only see, and it has to resonate with that person. If it don't resonate, then that's where you see the falsehood. So in dealing with, I'm gonna either speak something that Big Mama or Papa done gave me, they're gonna know that my words are coming from a place to whereas I was just talking about that. Or
So what do you say to those people who try so hard to make those connections? Like, they just want to make it fit because they want it so bad.
that's it.
What do you tell people to do? Because there are a lot of people like that.
Getting in that place of self-love.
Okay.
It's you have to get in a place of self-love, because your soul, once you start self-loving, you will trust you, and you will know what's real and what's not. But if you don't trust you, then how can you even trust what is authentic?
So, like our broken people, because a lot of people come to us
Yes.
when they are broken beyond measure, when church has failed them, they feel like their family has failed them, they feel like the universe has failed them and God has failed them. Normally, around the time they think there is nothing left to try,
Right.
they show up at our doorstep, broken
Yes.
and shattered.
Yes.
And at that point, no, they don't trust themselves.
And when they show up at our doorsteps, it's divine because we do stand apart. And I run across that all the time. And I say, you prayed for this. And in the words that the Spirit gives me, allows them to know the connection. I've been dealing with a lot of demonic spirits in people. I just dealt with a 14-year-old that he conjured up a spirit in playing with something that he thought was fake.
And they do that.
Yes, and that's why it's so important. But his cousins was the ones who brought him to me because they said that the mom was about to take him to the mental hospital, and I said no. So I worked with a sister of mine, and we went in and we removed the spirit. But then too, I also worked with them also, and one of the young ladies, she cried. She said, I've been waiting on you. I truly been waiting on you. So the soul of a person will allow them to know the authenticity that we walk in through their brokenness, because when you get into a place of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, your soul cries out. And when your soul truly cries out, heaven opens up and sent us. We could meet them in the store, through word of mouth. I've been getting a lot of clients and people coming through to me through Instagram and Facebook, because I had went on a 40-day fast at the beginning of the year, and I started doing a 5 a.m. live. And in my 5 a.m. live, I would take the Bible, open it up, wherever I land, that would be the scripture that I would read on. And as people would come on, like you said, I was giving free readings away because I didn't know who I was talking to.
But you give what's needed to the person.
Yeah, and I would have people DM me like, you was talking to me this morning, and they would pop up at the shop. And I'm like, I had to tell them, I said, y'all making my reputation bad, because every time somebody done hit the door the last 2 days, they would just start crying like, oh, let me go. So I'm like, wait a minute, don't do that. Hold up.
Now, the most, I don't like putting things on a tier, but one of the most beautiful experiences, I love that, and I don't think it damages a reputation at all. I think it actually enhances it and makes people question, okay, there's something to that.
Right.
There's something to that.
I was really teasing them, but
Yeah.
because I do got jokes, but I was like, wait a minute, let me just go get you some tissue real quick. But that's how you know that they see the authenticity in us.
Okay. Like when I went to Kemet. No, I wasn't in Kemet at this time. I was like right out in a little town called Nubia Village, north of Ethiopia. And this older lady, an older Muslim, language, spirit knows no language.
Right.
If I tell you this old lady grabbed me and she hugged me and she said, I'm waiting for you. That's when you said that. She was like, we waited for you.
Yes.
We waited for you. We waited for you. And this lady just hugged me for a good, and I'm not exaggerating here, 8 to 10 minutes
Yes.
because I had a ride that was waiting on me. I was like, so what you want me to do? I can't let her go. What you want me to do? I can't let her go. What you want me to do? So I held her and we hugged and she cried and it was just like a moaning, a humming.
Right.
We vibrated together because she didn't speak a lot of English, but we seriously created tones.
Yes. The frequency.
It was the hugging and the and the hugging and the tears and the rocking, and we created that energy and that source around each other to where when I left, she was sitting on the step and she was still crying because she waited for me to be there at that moment.
Right.
And she didn't speak a lot of English. She just knew this is the person that she waited on and she needed that specific touch
Right.
and that specific energy at that time.
Those are those moments where spirit allows you to know they see us.
Right.
Because it's no mistake in time. I get it all the time, my hugs. People fall into my hugs
And they just need to stay there.
right, right.
They
And
just need to stay there.
because we have the nurturing spirit of the mother. I listened to you when you said you was going to Mexico, Nigeria. You are one of the mothers of the water.
Mhm.
So, with you having the spirit of the mother of the water, it's going to take you to the places where the water is. And that's why it's so important for you to go and replenish yourself at the water and make the offerings and everything that is opening up to you is you are conduit for us to be able to be of access to the people. Because in October when I did a ritual at the waters for the Great Conjunction, I prayed and I asked for heaven to give me the conduit so I can catapult into the places where I need to be. So I've been humbly waiting because, I told you, I'm ready to do the retreats. I'm ready. I just need someone to put me in place and be of help because I am a service worker. So in order for me to complete my mission, I need the connection. So when you say I got X, Y, and Z, okay, here I am. I'm there, and it's a lot of authentic people that all they are doing is waiting to be utilized. So the platform that heaven has opened up for you is allowing us to be of service.
And that is exactly what we wanted.
Right. And it's about us being of help to each other because your gifts only complement mine as well as mine. So, right. And we have to teach our babies not to feel like it's a competition thing because we are one as a whole. I can't use this without this.
Right.
So it's teaching them the right way in humbling themselves to know that we are connected for a reason.
All is one.
Exactly.
All is one.
Exactly. And the stronger we become one, everything is fenced to shape, make, and break something that's not in a higher vibrational thinking or level of evolving.
You know me. I know how to piss off the Pope. I don't do it on
of
purpose.
course.
I don't do it on purpose.
I liked that picture where he was like kissing the feet.
It was like, okay, so my family is traditionally voodoo.
I say.
We always have been. From my grandmother to my aunts to me to my great grandmother. It's all we know. It's what we do. I have a line of seers in my family. Some who accept it, some who see it, and just I'm not dealing with that. I'm going this way. My mother is like that. She's actually told people. She'll tell you like I'm probably gonna have her on here one day, and she'll tell you. She's like, yes, we lived in the middle of a graveyard when she was little. I saw spirits every day because I worked the evening shift and I would have to walk past them. I just keep going.
Right.
I'm not dealing with that. It's not my life. I just keep going. And that's because my aunt, her sister, was me. But I don't do things in the traditional way. There's nothing about me that's ever been traditional as far as I wear all white when I want to.
Right.
When I want to.
Right.
I wear all black when I want to. If I want to wear green, purple, yellow, red, that's what I'm going to put on today. And it don't matter what ritual I'm doing. I'm going to listen to me and I'm going to listen to my spirits.
Right.
I don't follow tradition well because traditions are just a lot of times habits.
Right.
Which can be improved upon, which can grow, which can change, because why would we not? And it's almost, it's like, I want to teach people that they can still live this life and be utterly human, have the human experience. There is no reason why I can't be the good witch and be human. Who put me in that box? Why can't I be the all? Why can't I be the everything and the nothing? Why can't I grow outside of everything that everybody thought was possible until it fills the space and then the space expands so I can fill it some more?
You can.
And people don't choose to believe that.
Right.
So part of this platform is to show people that yes.
Right.
Yes, the little girl from the projects can be a witchy Oprah.
Right.
She can be.
I mean,
The homeless boy can be a billionaire.
if they pay attention to the signs and wonders,
Absolutely.
it is a lot of witchy Oprahs. They just choose to camouflage it very discreetly.
They do.
You know, but I applaud you because it's time to come out of the closet. It's time for us to be free as each individual that practice or believe what they choose to. And that's why my dream is to have that big conference with the sound bowls and
So that's not a dream.
well, I'm just saying with
That's
a reality
that's
now.
probably like a month or two.
I got yes. So yes, and it's time for the manifestations of us to come out of the closet. You know, like I say, my family look at me like, and you just said that when I was a baby, you went and took me to my uncle that treated me. So what the treat was, you understand, when he put some paste together and he tied this little string around my waist to stop me from whining because somebody had held me when they was on their menstrual. What you call that?
Right.
That's a witch.
That's witchcraft.
Exactly.
People do it all the time.
So it's like
Like even in church when they say it's in the laws and the prayers, it's in words that you can't understand.
yes.
what do you call that?
Witchcraft.
And I'm going to reiterate words to you over and over and over again. I'm going to spell
It's a
things out to you. I'm chanting. I'm going to
Yes.
spell on this situation. One of my favorite songs that I use as meditation is the Prayer of Jabez.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, bless me. Enlarge my territory. Keep your hand upon me so that no evil comes against me. If that's not an almost perfect spell.
It is. Because, you know, I mean, one of my favorites is touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm, or no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
And people have this right all over their house. They can say, but it's of God. So, well, how could God give me
The gift.
the gifts? Like when people don't want to use astrology, because astrology is of the devil. So you're telling me who created the stars? God did.
Yeah.
Who created the moon? God did. So who created the ocean? God did. Don't the moon and the ocean work together? Can you have one without the other? Well, no. So am I supposed to ignore all these things that God gave us?
No.
Or am I supposed to apply them to my life?
I call that the lack of knowledge, because, you know, whatever you choose to pray to, it's a source of energy.
Even if you choose to pray to nothing.
Exactly.
If I choose to believe, if I am, what do you call it? Not, what do you call it? Somebody where you believe, atheist.
Yeah,
And I know they don't necessarily believe in nothing. That's not what atheist is. But if I don't believe in God, and I don't believe in a higher power, and I don't believe in Scientology or aliens or anything like that, I find it in myself. And they're closer to right than anybody else.
Yes. Because they're unbiased.
Yes. Well, they're biased because of why they don't believe most of the time. But they find it in themselves.
Right.
Which is where you should look for it anyway.
But see, that's the thing. It's the choice. You know, and
It's hard.
I know, but I teach my babies to understand whatever you choose, you have to be accountable for that. You know, you're going to know what feels right within you to allow you to be accountable. Because it's the accountability of how your feelings and your emotions is showing you certain things. That's why I was in agreement. Ain't no right and wrong.
Absolutely.
You know, it's what you feel that resonates with you. And that it goes back to that trust factor. You know, it's all it all based on trust. And you get into a place to whereas you trust you. That's the most important thing, is you understanding you and understanding your trust level and your trust factor. And that's how we truly grow, because we could sit there and we could teach them all day long. But if they don't have a certain level of trust, then they're not going to put the faith in manifesting.
Well, they're nicer than me. I don't have time to do that.
And you know, I don't have the patience. That's why my words be so cut and dry, because I ain't got time for the BS.
So my marketing team, the lead of my marketing team, has told me before that I need to learn tact. But I would say I'm working on it, but I'm not. It's like, it's one of those things to where she's overheard me giving somebody a reading, and I couldn't do nothing but laugh at this person because you're asking me a question, and I'm telling you an answer. Me and you both know you're not going to apply this.
Right.
You're going to go do the stupid things that I'm telling you not to do.
So,
and
I'm
you're going
with
to
you
call
on
me back
that.
and tell me about it later, so I'm going to tell you what you should do, and then I'm going to tell you the truth about the situation that you're not going to do the thing that you know you should do. And you're going to call me back in a month and go, you know what, you was right.
And see, those.
And I'm going to charge you for that.
Exactly. I was about to say that. I about to say
Because
that.
at this point, I
'Cause you
gave
playing
you
with
what
my
you
Shayna.
needed.
Yes.
for free. I
Yes.
gave it
Yes.
because I wanted what was best for you.
Exactly.
And you had the opportunity to do it. So in order to fix it,
Yeah.
you want my time, you want my energy, you want my resources, but you don't want the responsibility of it. You don't want to own it. You don't want the acceptance of this happened to me because I chose this action. The devil did it.
Now you know
That man did it.
right. One of my elders made a statement to me. She said, "You will run across those that it's nothing we can really do to change them because the work is all they know.
Mm-hmm.
They will forever live on paying us to do the work because it's like an addiction to
And
some
that's
people,
okay.
you know. And I really pray hard for those because I'm in a place to where I want you to get it, grow, and go. So I don't want you. I'm that teacher that wants you to become the teacher. You know, and I think that's why I do take the time out a lot because I want you to get it so you can evolve. I'm like, if you come back to me with the same issue, you're gonna have a problem with me because we done did this like twice. So that's why it's so important for me to say, if you identify it, then you become accountable.
Absolutely.
You know, and I tell a lot of people, look, if you dealing with a cheater, just accept it's cheat. If you say you love him, exactly. Just accept.
Why are you upset?
He want multiple women, and you gonna be all right with the multiple women, so we could go.
But you knew that.
Exactly. So let's just cut the BS and do this self-love work, so you can see yourself and know what you deserve.
Right. He don't want other women because you're not enough. He want other women because that's what he wants.
Exactly.
And you know that's what he wanted. Why you mad?
So
you still there. It must be okay. Chill out. Take a nap.
Exactly. Right. Let's get to the truth.
Either leave or take a nap. Wake up. Or be better. Because look. Because what we're not gonna do is pretend like you didn't know.
No.
What you didn't know what you signed up for.
Okay.
That's what we're not gonna sit here and
So,
do.
let's go down there and sit and talk to Mama Leon. And listen to the stories. And I've been encouraging everyone to pay attention to the words people say. Yes. Because if you pay attention to the words, that's them. Accept them. Listen. Stop reacting in feelings and emotions because someone is expressing their true self. We cannot change people. People have to change themselves.
When people tell you who they are,
Believe it.
Mama Maya said it.
Yes.
Okay. And pause.
I sure.
So, how are you feeling?
Amazing.
Amazing?
Yeah.
Okay, good. How are we doing?
Doing great.
In set and scene? We're
Oh,
good?
wonderful. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You know, I like to take a break. We need to regroup. We need to adjust. You have your whatever that is.
My water. Yo, I'm hungry. My stomach gonna be growling. You could hear
Get
that.
something to eat.
It was mine too. Hopefully I hear that. It's kind of loud.
Wait a minute.
A couple times I was
Wait a minute, let me find one of these. What one of them? Oh, there you go.
Do you have any questions that you need to put on board? Nothing? Is there anything that we've mentioned that we need to explain further? Any phrases, any statements, anything that we mentioned? You are doing amazing.
Ooh.
This next part, when we go back in,
All right.
I'm gonna prep you for it.
Yeah, that's what I almost got you last time.
Dude,
The chord.
I didn't even think I was going to look at it.
There you go.
All right.
But I'm
Where
gonna
we
prep you
going?
for it. I'm gonna ask you more questions specifically about Mambo,
Okay.
about what it means to be a Mambo,
Okay.
what type of ceremonies you perform,
Okay.
the extent of what you can tell me.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You want sushi? You want sushi later? Sushi for dinner? Sushi for dinner. Okay.
I don't like nothing raw.
I love raw food.
Uncooked sushi?
That's
You're going to have
not
to
sushi.
take me with you because,
You can come. It's down the street.
no, I'm talking about on the cook
No,
sushi.
but they have cooked sushi
Oh,
there. You want to go after we finish?
sure.
Are you okay with that?
I'm fine.
Are you down?
He's a sushi fan.
I'll try it.
Okay, because after we finish recording with her, we could take a break because I know it's been. We need a break. Everybody needs a break. We'll finish with.
You see me?
We'll finish with our Mambo, and when we come back, we'll record just me. And I'm gonna go over a couple of things that were mentioned in both segments, and we'll just record those pieces
Gotcha.
so that you have that information later, and we can use it for different things.
I need sugar pick.
Take your
Cause
time.
I can live here.
Take your time, love. My house likes you, so that's a good thing.
That's good. They're good.
It's
The house and the spirit.
They do. If they don't, they make it known. It's awkward. I've had people to come in and just have to leave. Like they just gotta go. It's always funny. My daughter finds it amusing. She waits a few minutes around to see who comes in, how long they gonna be here. Like she just wait around to see who leaving. She's like, that didn't last long. She thinks it's funny.
It's probably like, it's like a timer.
Yeah, that's what she did.
4 minutes. Okay.
And they'll just almost fall out the door. It's hilarious. I have some people that can't even come. Like they just won't come in. Well, I'll wait for you out here.
Yeah.
Well, you can go ahead and go. It's all right. It's all right. So, how are you holding up our wonderful soul productions?
As in the segment or just in my business? I want to make sure I understand the
In
question.
this segment.
Oh,
Sorry.
good.
Good?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing needs to be different, improved upon, added, subtracted.
Just be yourself.
Okay. But yes, I'm going to ask her more about the actual practice of what she does.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of people are truly interested in what it means, because I can call her a Mambo all day and nobody knows what that means. So,
Gotcha.
and it means something different to each one.
Perspective. So this is more of the yeah. I'm just call it diamond. The answer all of yeah.
Purple. I see you got your little workshop going on in there. Yes.
That's why certain people can't come in too much.
I love it. I even love all that over there.
Oh yeah, that's my working on.
Oh,
I'm gonna bring them my charge my mics. How much use they got?
Do we need to stop
Oh
the
no, we
charge?
good.
Okay.
I'm saying I'm gonna break them charge them just in case.
Okay. Is there anything you're not comfortable with me asking?
Oh no, you guys know whatever.
Okay.
If I got an answer for it, I'm gonna answer. If I ain't got one, I'm like, I don't know. I'm about to get some thoughts to that one.
Okay.
Hold on.
Switching out memory cards.
Mm-hmm.
I got put some cushion in my heels.
Yeah, so we'll make it a group adventure. We'll go eat. The sushi place is like right down the street. Akashi.
I've been before, but you said sushi, so.
Somebody like to tell me what's going
Follow her because she likes cook sushi.
Yeah, I like cooked sushi.
on. Okay.
And then I take
I like my fresh fish fresh out the ocean. Just pick that, give it to me.
Okay.
I've actually tried that.
It's amazing.
I couldn't do the texture.
It's amazing.
But you can cook it all day. I put
Right.
chopsticks
You
and
ate
all.
raw fish last night.
I did?
Yes.
In the ceviche?
Yes. It was raw. It just had raw juice on it.
See, I couldn't tell. I was okay with that. Because I
Right.
had the chips.
I'm like you.
The hot sauce.
I gotta.
Chips and
If
hot
it
sauce
don't-
made it
If
better.
it don't taste right in my mouth,
Yeah. If it don't feel right,
y'all
like,
gonna
wait,
see a
right,
whole
this.
face. And
Just
my
squeeze
face
some lime
is-
on it. It'll change the texture.
Yes.
I can deal with that.
Okay.
If it's like kind of rubbery, I need to just put
Where's the
put it
refrigerator?
house with me. It is
Okay.
right there.
It's this strapless. You can take my knife.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, we're gonna keep rolling. I know after 11 minutes I'm out. Because my other memory cards were Grace.
No more memory cards. Hold on.
No, my other ones were Grace.
And so we have 11 minutes.
No, you keep going. I'm just telling her. I know mine's gonna max out.
But you got the main audio, so we can't mix that.
So that means we have 11 minutes.
Nope. There is a wheel. There's a way.
Absolutely. You have the stand for that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All you gotta do is switch out the memory card though.
Oh, okay.
Technology.
See how much on that one?
It should be playing. Once I recorded stuff like that, play.
It's the writing speed I'm concerned about. Because if it's not the writing one, it'll stop in the middle. This one should be able to take off. If not, we'll have to find out.
No finding out. Let's figure it out beforehand.
Well, we're gonna make this last 11 minutes count.
Right. If we got 11 minutes, then we got 11 minutes. If not, where's Bandersnatch?
I don't know. He's been very quiet. Did he get locked in the room box soon?
No, he would knock everyone out. And he opens doors. So,
Like really open.
you know, he puts his paw up under it, pulls it open.
Oh, Bandersnatch.
Okay.
And if you can't, then if it's like locked, he'll just scratch at it until you open it.
Oh, he's straight children then. He kind of got me some love.
Oh, okay. He's fine. It's no big.
He's a little king.
I
You have
take
a bunch of raw spirits around you.
So after this, I'm gonna have to dump it.
She
Dump
is.
to my flash drive.
She got the.
Yeah, she all off up in my ear.
She is. That's Marie.
Doesn't matter.
Her
It
name's
looks like it's all the night. So,
That's why when you said that, I thought it was funny. My middle name's Marie and her name's Marie. We're all Maries.
Yeah, she is.
it's like 120 some gigs. That's 4K. That's why it's so big.
Like if you
So we have 11 minutes?
No, we got like, I say 20.
I sure.
Okay, that's perfect.
You have any profile? Profile.
Yes, yes.
Good.
My lovely, lovely, lovely Mambo, I'm going to dive all in your business
I sure.
because a lot of people here the term mama. And what they hear is supreme witch. So, what does that mean for you?
Actually, Mambo stands for mother. We take on the responsibility to teach, nurture, heal, support, go to war as any mother would do for their children. The role of a mambo, you govern the sergeant at arms, you help out with the whole guns. You're over rituals, you're over teaching prayer. The responsibility is a lot. We make the oils, the soaps, the baths, everything consisted of picking out drummers, making sure that everything is in alignment. So it was a big responsibility, but spirit chose me. So anybody can't just be a mambo or a hoga. You know, spirit has to choose you. In dealing with voodoo, Marie Laveau and the Barons gave me the approval. And those Barons.
How did you receive that?
I was honored because my godfather, when I met him, it just was in passing.
When I say how, I mean in what way? Like, how was it told to you? Or how was it made known to you that you had the honor of Marie Laveau and the Barons?
So when I came to the house of the Associates, he do reading.
What's Associate?
That's the house of the voodoo house that I'm under, Absalom.
Okay.
Yeah, he cast. So I started taking his class in learning. And he's a very amazing teacher. He taught us about the Loas, the Barons, Marie Laveau. We also had to learn on herbs.
What's the Baron?
Barons are spirits.
Okay.
They're the Loas. So
they're the same?
Yeah, they are the spirits that you work with.
Okay.
Like in Ifa, you work with the Orishas. So in voodoo, the Barons are the spirits that you petition that walks with you. So it's certain Barons, like Baron Samedi is one of my Barons that walks with me. He governs me. Baron Criminel, he also walks with me. And then I have a snake spirit which represents Dambala. So
Dambala is not Chucky. That's gonna come up. No, I didn't do the Dambala. That is not Chucky. You will not raise a doll that way. Stop it. Nightmare. She's stopping right now. Okay.
Yeah, so
that's where I get bit by a snake. Stop it.
So in our house we have sergeant at arms, we have servants. You can initiate differently in voodoo. Yes. So when our classes are done, we ask our initiates, are they ready to be initiated? And if they feel that they're comfortable enough for the responsibility. Because when you initiate, you're not just initiating to a house, you are initiating to spirit.
It's deeper than a gang, y'all.
It really is. It really, really, truly is. So don't think that, I'm a Mambo, but it's still layers to that.
Absolutely.
It's still levels to that, and what I have learned, I have to now teach also. And the rituals.
So let's talk about the rituals. I want to ask you questions about some rituals.
Okay.
If you were to do, if I felt like someone was out to hurt myself or my family, and I came to you and I told you, Mambo cannot, I'm afraid for my life. Such and such is out to hurt me. I can feel it, I know it, and I'm at this healed self-aware states where I'm aware, so you don't have to go through that healing process with me. What would that ritual look like?
So rituals in that manner, it is just about doing protective work. When we do rituals, it's about elevating the initiates into certain position. But you can do certain protective rituals to whereas it consists of sacrifice, as in sacrificing an animal, or it can consist of just petitioning the different loas and giving like offerings. The loas is like the barons, the different spirits.
So if you were to sacrifice an animal for someone's protection, like what would that be like?
That would be really extreme because for protection on someone's life, you wouldn't really have to go to that extent.
Okay.
You can basically petition the spirits and give them like an offering, like the barons like alcohol, cigarettes, Israelite is one of the female deities to whereas you would petition because she's a protector of women. She likes perfume, roses, wine, things of that nature. So it don't always have to be a blood sacrifice as far as in protection. Normally what I have participated in thus far is when we do the blood sacrifice, it's in more so like ceremony to whereas somebody is getting an elevation and being initiated in something. I have not participated in a sacrifice as far as a blood ritual to do any workings, but it just depends on the mambo, and
Every recipe depends on the chef.
Exactly. But like I say, for you to do that sacrifice, you're really going after someone's life to a certain extent.
Okay. What do your petitions look like?
Just you can write out. You could do the bebes. The bebes are the symbols of certain laws, and the petitions are handwritten. You can write out the petitions in your own words. You can use parchment paper with dragon's blood ink, or you can take a pen. It's basically of your own choosing and what you're doing in the workings you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish. So you can use different inks, like doing ceremony, we sign in blood. We use our blood for the spirit. So, like I said, it's different things when you um, agree with the spirit to initiate. It's a serious move that you're making. It's very important. It's nothing to play with.
Absolutely not. And people, because it is becoming so common, and not just on the television scene, of where people are seeing it more and more on TV shows, and everybody wants to be a part of it because they think it's something fun to do, and then they get themselves in these situations where they've released something in their life that they don't know how to deal with. How do you suggest they go about doing that
In the learning,
or fixing that? Rather?
because see, I talked to a young lady. I talked to a gentleman. He went to Haiti, and in Haiti, the initiation process is way more intense than here in the States. So it just really depends on who you're dealing with and moving forward in initiation. But I always tell the novices to take their time and truly study, read, and get to know the spirits and get to know the spirits that walk with them and how to work with the spirits and identify, you know, what you're truly doing before you just jump in and say, okay, I'm ready. You know, for our initiates, we give lessons, we give tests, you know, we make them do hands on. Like in our house, I still have not, I'm working on the French because a lot of our prayers are spoken French, and you know, I get tied tongue, twisted tongue, and all of the above. So it's like you really, really have to do a lot of studying, a lot of work.
So, outside of the studying and the work and the practices, I'm going to ask you about a couple of things that people hear about in that world and want to know what they are
Okay.
and how to use them.
Okay.
So, what a lot of people now, you can see them at certain stores. What would a mojo? Or they're not real if you see that Valero, but I shouldn't say names of gas stations. But even y'all know what to do with that. If you see it at a gas station, it's probably not a real mojo bag. But stop picking up stuff that you don't know what to do with. What is a mojo bag? What should be in it?
Okay, so you could have different things in mojo bags. It just depends on what that mojo bag is for. So I'll just say like for a protection mojo bag. In mojo bags we have stones, we have the herbs, we have different prayers and oils that we use and a lot of sorts of other little extra added things, but we secure the mojo bags with strings. It just depends on the different recipes, and everybody don't always have the same recipe because you're operating with different mambos and hogans. But those are a few of the different things that are placed in a mojo bag. And like I said, it just depends on what it's for.
Okay. So, um, I'm going to ask you another question. I was going to keep going into things and asking like little particular things, but so you just gave me a question to ask you and I have to ask it. When you accepted becoming a Mambo, what was the cost?
Ooh, um, the cost was me being responsible for my godchildren that's coming up underneath me and what I'm showing them.
Was there a personal cost for you?
It wasn't a personal cost, I'll say, outside of the norm and my family not understanding the call on my life.
Okay. Well, all things in perspective for the people that are going to be watching, they don't have a norm.
Right.
So your family not understanding, so loss of family, or
Right.
you had to give a portion of that up. What else? Is there anything else you had to give up?
Time.
Okay.
It takes time in the learning.
Were there pieces of yourself that you had acquired that you loved that you had to let go of?
I think I gained more.
Okay.
I think I gained more in becoming a Mambo than truly losing.
Right. Okay. Okay.
I gained, for me, I truly gained more because being a Mambo made me value things more and I became more disciplined. So I truly stopped taking a lot for granted.
Okay.
So it wasn't a loss for me, it was a gain.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What has been the happiest part of this journey for you?
The true magic in seeing. I had an experience in New Orleans and it was so magical to whereas it just really blew my mind. And that was the scavenger hunt that my godfather took us on to teach us that everything we need to do any kind of work is available out in the opening, as far as the herbs are out there, the libation. I mean, we walked around New Orleans and they had like a pint just laying down with a little alcohol in it for us to give an offering. Or we could pick up a cigarette bud to give the tobacco. So it was like the true aspect of seeing the magic and seeing things materialize just out of thin air. That was the most amazing experience into coming into voodoo.
Okay. Okay. And what was there a painful experience?
The painful experience that I have experienced in becoming a Mambo is the envy and jealousy of some. And I got tears when I said it because when you are a natural giver and a teacher, and all you want to do is just share what you receive, you have those that will be jealous and envious. And sometimes it scratches so close to the surface, it hurts. So I think that is one of the most painful, um, painful things in being a Mambo, being gifted, period, is experiencing that jealousy and envy by those that you truly love.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you so much for your time and spending this time to come sit with the witch and enjoy space and enjoying your energy and being so amazing at what you do and teaching and helping and giving so freely and being so open.
Thank you for having me.
And we really, really appreciate you. And we'll be seeing Worthy soon.
Yes.
So we are going to have a sip with the witch and we will call it a show. Thank you.
Thank you.